How storms and navigation errors changed the Pilgrims' destiny. When the Mayflower set sail in September 1620, the Pilgrims had a mission: establish a new colony near the Hudson River, within the northern bounds of Virginia colony. But thanks to a mix of violent storms and navigation miscalculations, they ended up over 200 miles off course, in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. That unplanned detour didn't just change their landing spot, it helped reshape the foundation of American democracy. The voyage, a brutal Atlantic crossing the Mayflower's transatlantic voyage, was anything but smooth. The ship left Plymouth, England, on September 16, 1620, and spent 66 days battling the harsh autumn waters of the North Atlantic. During the voyage, powerful storms battered the ship, cracking one of the main structural beams. Passengers were often confined below deck, seasick and drenched. Navigation became increasingly difficult due to poor visibility and rudimentary instruments. Early 17th century sea navigation relied on dead reckoning, compasses, and primitive maps. A far cry from today's GPS precision. With strong currents, shifting winds, and limited tools, navigation errors were almost inevitable. Why didn't they reach Virginia? The plan was to land near the mouth of the Hudson River, around modern-day New York, so why did the Mayflower land at the tip of Cape Cod instead? Here's what most historians believe. Storms blew them north. The ship was likely blown off course by severe storms as they neared the American coastline. The rough weather forced them to veer farther north than intended, possibly without realizing it until they were already near Cape Cod. Navigation errors. Given the tools of the time, it was very easy to miscalculate longitude, especially in stormy weather. Even skilled navigators could drift significantly off course without accurate readings. Crew reluctance. Some sources suggest the ship's captain and crew, already dealing with a damaged vessel and exhausted passengers, were unwilling to risk sailing farther south, especially with dangerous shoals and winter approaching. Why they stayed in Cape Cod. Once the Mayflower anchored in Provincetown Harbor on November 11, 1620, the Pilgrims quickly realized two things. They were outside the jurisdiction of their Virginia land patent. They didn't have time, supplies, or energy to attempt relocating south. Instead, they chose to stay and form a self-governing community, prompting the drafting and signing of the Mayflower Compact, a landmark document in colonial rule. Unintended consequences that shaped history. Had the Mayflower landed in the Hudson River area, the settlers would have been under the existing governance of Virginia colony. But landing in unclaimed territory forced them to create a new, autonomous form of government. That mistake, caused by weather and human error, led directly to the Mayflower Compact, a pioneering agreement for of Mayrants, the founding of Plymouth Colony, the first permanent English settlement in New England, a unique legacy of religious and political freedom that would ripple through American history. Sometimes, the storm is the turning point. The Pilgrims didn't land where they intended, and their journey was riddled with uncertainty, danger, and setbacks. But those very challenges, especially the storms and misdirection, ended up putting them exactly where they needed to be to spark something new. In the end, history is full of detours that lead to destiny.